Hi.
Hi.
We're Randy of Herpetology of the Apocalypse, and apparently I have eyebrows that are going. I just made a mistake on one of my eyebrows and went, "Oh, that's fun," and went from there.
I,
So,
reasonable. I think that's okay. Today we made peach smoothies. It's not actually in the notebook, but I got a new blender. Pretty good.
and you're also wearing the butterfly thing.
Yeah.
Butterfly thing.
For no real reason other than I just felt like it. I was going to wear it somewhere else and decided not to. I was going to go wear it to Meow Wolf just so I could be weird looking at Meow Wolf in Vegas at a Mega Mart.
Mhm.
And decided not to because I wasn't sure how hot and or cold I would get because it's a very light shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
And that would
Anyway,
spell doom.
doom, or at least discomfort,
Yeah.
agony, and moan. Uh, right.
That I should probably put that song onto the.
I made Ray listen to the one of the songs from Hee Haw, which was a country western TV show while I was growing up, kind of set in opposition to Rowan and Martin's Laugh In, with the opposite political bent. And guess which one my family watched more of? The Hee Haw. However, also watched Laugh In, just not as religiously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whoop, I moved all my stuff. Crap.
Today we are starting on page 260. Sorry, 2617, um, in which Wayward Vagabond is not having a very good time.
I don't know. Sometimes he has a good time.
True, but not on that specific page.
Oh, okay. Okay. 2617.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
My first thing starts on 2620, so.
Oh, okay. 2620. Okay. On 2619, it says be the mayor. Usually in Homestuck, when a character says or gets a message, be the X, then you shift POVs. Not here. Wandering Vagabond is still Wandering Vagabond, just playing pretend. So that was a notice of something that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead on. You said you're on 20?
Yes.
Yeah. I just have notes like what happened there.
um, and so we start chess. I don't know nothing about chess, but I do know that there was a brief period of time in 2023 in which a lot of teens were playing chess terribly on purpose because teens will just do that. And they got played so much that they got several schools banning chess. Um, I'm not particularly sure why that year was so chess heavy, but I do know that it was A, the thing at the time, and B, similar to previous things in that current time section that teens were doing of we're just going to do this one TikTok challenge to the extreme and see how far we can go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Another one being the Licks challenge, I think that's what it was called. This one is the hey, we're just gonna steal stuff from our school and as big as we can get kind of thing. So stealing literal bathroom stall doors and stuff like that.
That sort of hijinks is usually reserved for college.
Yeah. Well, the teenagers were doing it this time.
Okay. Because I'm like, let's see. How many people do I know whose favorite college story starts with first we found an entire Volkswagen Bug that wasn't where we wanted it to be and ended up with, and that's why we got all of the edible gold leaf.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I think Gen X is like peak shenanigans.
Where like college stuff.
Yeah, like boomers, it's interesting, but you like listen to some of the stories and you're like, and nobody died, right? And no, and please tell me nobody died. And then like the Gen X ones are like, oh, you fucking morons. Why did you take it apart and put it back together that way?
We just wanted to, man.
had to know if I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, also, while Wayward Vagabond was drawing the symbols on top of the cans and stuff, I was wondering what the specific roles each of the symbols were, not just because, hey, chess, but also because Wayward Vagabond noted that he absolutely hates the king, so it probably isn't a one-to-one, yes, this is the king character instead of this or something like this.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, but probably there's specific roles like here is the guy who takes care of the garbage. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my assumption. I don't actually know what his decision on that actually is. Just my thoughts.
Hmm.
Next page is what I got. Unless you have something else to say
I
on
do want
this.
to say about something about chess and nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, you know who is obsessed with chess. And for a long time, he was regularly sending me long videos of chess games, mostly from, I think the guy's name is Magnus something or other. He's a very famous chess player if you look up Magnus. But one of the particular videos that I really liked was the other guy he was playing was taking things very seriously. And he was like in an office chair doing this online chess game, spinning around in circles while two blonde, also chess players, like Russian twin sisters, were like, "Are you done yet, Magnus? We got something to do." And both the blonde women were like chess boxers, which is what brought it to mind. Like thinking of all of the nutty things, like you play a game of chess or you play some chess and then you switch off and you like box your opponent. Like, okay, teenagers, 2023, step up your game. If that's all you're gonna do is play chess badly, anybody can do that. I want like high school chess boxing clubs. It's like a magician's dueling society, only it's like, I'm up my king. Do you now?
I wanted to put my pawn there, you bastard. I think I've actually seen clips of that on Tumblr. So yes, confirm.
Okay.
Also seen, I
All right.
guess.
2021.
Okay. 2621.
My thing reset again.
Oh, no.
Will you talk for a minute?
Yes, I will.
I think it's every time my screen rotates, it resets to a new location, which is annoying.
Yes. 2621, this is the flash thing of Wayward Vagabond leading his men to victory and / doing all of the chess match stuff. The black side wins. I'm sure this has totally no consequence at all in our story. Also, we end up back on a 413 countdown in minutes instead of hours now. I was looking at the Homestuck wiki and found out that this whole chess shenanigans is a parody of the Letelier versus Fischer game for a 1960 14th Olympiad in Leipzig for a chess match. Chess?
Chess match.
Yes, thank you. Where Fischer won by creating a situation where the capture of the black queen would cause a checkmate for the black. That's all that for like that. That'll apparently become relevant later, but that would be spoilers to say what it's going to be relevant on. I just was like, oh, okay. Hey, there's an actual comparison of real life things here. Further shenanigans is me talking about music. Do you have things to say before I do so?
Yes. This is music adjacent because I have to mention Chess the Musical again. And Bobby Fischer is the basis of the character of the American in this. And I think the other guy was the Russian, but I don't remember for sure. But like that game is part of the musical.
So it became relevant in the end.
So, dude, okay.
She was listening to the Chess the Musical soundtrack while looking at that specific thing, and I looked over and noticed that, and I was like,
"Oh no, not again!" I know, like, since I looked it up, like, I regularly have a mental radio. It's not earworms; it's just this constant, unending thing. And I have the beginning of that first song there's a flute that trills, and I'm like, yep, that flute trill has been on loop for the last 14 hours. So eventually I'll have to listen to the whole thing just to get it out of my head, but not right now.
In the meanwhile, I will be sending you the In the Navy by the YMCA people that I was mentioning earlier.
Okay. I did it again.
Anyways, I will talk now while you're dealing with your shenanigans.
No, I figured out how to find it faster, so it's fine. Okay. There I am.
Then,
okay.
Anything else you want to say on your side?
Just to check in chess games and books. Through the entirety of Through the Looking Glass, the Alice in Wonderland book, the sequel is set in a chess game, and it actually works. And the progression that, like, you follow a pawn, Alice, as she goes all the way across the board and is queened. But there's an actual game that goes around it. And if you want to look up Martin Gardner's The Annotated Alice, you can find out what that game is.
I will put that also inside of the notebook.
I also have, I tried to look up chess on the Homestuck wiki and went, nope, go back. Too many spoilers.
Indeed.
But also, the barcode thingy that's on Wayward Vagabond's arm serves as the loading screen for his little movie.
Yeah, and just like the center bit rotates.
Mm-hmm. They don't show the entire game. And eventually the tab can he's holding just bursts in his face.
Yeah.
Because he's vibrating.
Fair enough, man.
Okay.
But music stuff on my side now.
Go for it.
So, this song is called Vagabounce by David Coe. We have not seen David Coe before. This is his first of to be many songs coming up in Homestuck. One of which is an a cappella version of the Midnight Crew, which will be fun when we get there.
Is that our version?
I don't know. I didn't listen to it because I was like, that's going to be spoilers for me. Be like, figure that out.
Look, I did it again. God dang it.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm amused by your situation, but I have sympathy for you anyways.
Well said.
David Coe has a website called Chinese Viking. This is because he has two ancestry stuff. He has Danish stuff in him as well as Chinese, I believe. That's why I combined the two stuff. Anyways, he's like
all the pirates.
Yes. He has apparently earned multiple awards at the International Championship of Collegiate a cappella. So he's done a lot of a cappella songs. So I'm assuming that the Midnight Song will be fabulous if it is not our song that we're thinking of.
Okay.
He also is apparently a music therapist, a composer, and a voice actor. I didn't get to see much of his voice acting stuff, but we know about his music, so I was like, I will assume it will be good, kind of thing. And that is what I have on that. Yeah.
Okay. 2622.
I have the Wayward Vagabond side page on that one.
Oh, that's on 2623. 2622. I kept trying to check it, but the countdown timer seemed to have started on 409 and not 413. I think I missed something there. 2623, Peregrine Mendicant. Do you want to talk first on that? I have a fair amount of stuff here.
I have minor babble, so yes, I will start. We get to see the return of the mailboxes. This is the correct page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Return of mailboxes with their doobly-doo things. I would also like to note that I'm going to be looking at this character's teeth later just so that I can see if they're pointy or flat for my headcanon shenanigans. I know that there will be further against my headcanon shenanigans in the future, but I can go ahead and say, but wait, they have teeth implants. That's my bet on that. Anyways, that's for future shenanigans. Also, the star in the background is animated jitteringly.
Okay. Peregrine refers to a falcon or coming from a foreign country It's also an adjective that means foreign or outlandish. A mendicant, a beggar, particularly as a member of like a poor monks. Mendicant orders, they're Catholic monks who have taken a vow of poverty and to travel. They owned property in common, like basically socialistically, I guess, as part of the order. Franciscans, Dominicans, and Augustinians are all mendicant orders. The Jesuits started out as a mendicant order, then stopped, and are now one of the regular orders. Monastic orders are the ones that stop and live in a monastery, and mendicant orders are the travel around and do stuff one. So growing up Catholic, most of the priests that I had for various churches were Franciscan, who are usually pretty cool. And then we had a couple of Benedictines who were like kind of mad about the whole having to travel around South Dakota and go to various churches experience, where the Franciscans were like, yeah, I got an apartment here, fine, I'll just plonk. And then at the next, they like rotate through on a monthly basis. The Umberto Eco novel, The Name of the Rose, features a conflict between the mendicant orders and the monastic orders as part of one of the subplots. And that is set in somewhere around the 10th to the 12th century. I can't remember it now. I should have looked it up. The main character, William of Baskerville, is a Franciscan and former inquisitor. And the boy that's with him is Adzo of Melk, who is a Benedictine.
Okay.
Most of the people that are at the monastery in the story, I think, are Benedictines. Yeah, because Adzo's the same order. But there's a big conference there, and they have like the Franciscans and the Dominicans, and everybody piles all in there, and they're all very angry at each other the entire time. And there's a bunch of murders going on, and everybody's like, bah, can't you even stop murdering each other? Anyway, it's plot point.
Neat.
Peregrine Mendicant himself, or itself, has white flesh. Opposite Wandering Vagabond's dark flesh. Will Wandering Vagabond kill him as prophesied by the chess game? I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool. All right, good.
We will see, I guess.
Right.
My next thing is 2627. We're currently on 23.
Okay, 25. When Wandering Vagabond heads towards the ladder, the door shuts behind him. This didn't happen earlier when he was over there, kind of in the same area, and a panel lights up. Ray played through Myst recently, and I went, this is a very Myst move. And I didn't come to any conclusions at that point, but 2626 overhead, the bars slide shut, blocking the way out. Solve the puzzle or be trapped forever. And I went, that is a very Myst move.
It just keeps being Myst, man.
And then I went, this isn't like just a non-game sort of section. Wandering Vagabond is back in Myst mode.
Oh.
Which is why the puzzles are like, do the thing, go someplace else, and come back. And then do the thing, and then go someplace else, and come back. And go, why didn't I do the other thing while I was other place? Well, I didn't get the other quest at that point. And here's a bunch of room-based puzzles, and you can only get the stuff when you can solve the puzzle, and then you open up a new area. Yeah.
You're only allowed to carry one thing at a time.
Yes, there is no inventory in some of these things, and it's as annoying as shit, as Ray learned while she was trying to carry around in Myst the red and blue pages. Okay.
Specifically was like, yeah, about that because I had to go through the maze several times over because of it.
It's like the maze that makes no sense towards the end of Myst. Please don't bleed. No. Look, if you feel anything trickling down the side of your face, just take a tissue and dip in it.
I do have tissues over here.
2627. I'll go first. The LCD panel lights, and how does he know it's an LCD panel? But anyway, it lights up with 3 icons: S-Burp, Skynet, and blank, blank, blank. made of overlapping triangles. I could not find a name for that overlapping triangle pattern to save my life. I was like, this looks like something out of some kind of mystical and or mathematical bullshit.
Yeah, fractals we learn later, but
It's not a fractal. It's not actually a fractal. It's
oh.
not really a fractal. If you cut any one piece of it, it is not self-similar.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot extend the line out in any kind of meaningful way or make it smaller or more inset.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I found lots on triangle fractals that did work that don't look like this, particularly the Serpensy triangle. I was like, oh my God, what is this shape? Nothing. Anyway.
I said they were incorrect stars of David, honestly, overlapping each other.
It doesn't look like it's a graph. It looks like, because like the stars don't line up exactly. I think it's just kind of like he dumped a bunch of triangles on there and was sloppy about it.
Yeah. I think you're right. Anyways, so my babbles about this. I had first a brief moment of confusion because I was like, oh shit, is there going to be basement layers of this thing? I had completely forgotten because there's this circle one, and I was like, in the diagram, that's usually like, hey, there's levels of this.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, wait, no, of course, it's just like, this is room number 1. This will be room number 2. That kind of thing. It just was like, yep, of course. Then I was talking about what the 3 rooms would be, like the sky, blah, blah, blah. Something else I wanted to note is if you zoom in, well, maybe not necessarily zoom in, but all of the lines are like even tiny little lines and stuff for LCD stuff. But they also have a diagonal, kind of a scan line, but not really kind of thing. Just a lighter section on that, which I will mention later in a I'm gonna have you cover your ears up later section later.
Okay.
But I just was like, why is it like that? Why are they diagonal? It reminds me almost of like in MIDI players when you're trying to like make music yourself kind of thing, and you're like, I'm just gonna go ahead and like dun, 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 the little bars or whatever.
I wonder if it's an old TV thing.
I don't know. I couldn't find anything on it.
Okay.
Next thing is next page for me.
What page are you on?
The one I'm going to talk about is 2628.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. We get a confirmation that the number circle being like the room number because he rotates the room and like ends up getting a. Oop. Nope, that was the next page. Oops. Yep. We get to see that the sky room is locked. That's what I will say there.
Okay.
Yep.
2629. Now, check me on this. The floor under Wandering Vagabond seems to rotate while the wall stays put. And I went, does that mean the entire base rotates under there? Because that's kind of what the picture looks like, because there's a big thing and it rotates. But that really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I don't know. I watched the animation of the sand going around probably like 50 times in a row and went, I'm not really sure.
I think the floor does indeed change because these little lines have like tiles and stuff, and they turn to like triangle lines here. So like right there. So I think literally yes, the floor does like rotate.
Okay.
Weird. Yes, agreed. Would also like to note that the mayor ends up with a crotch full of sand here because of this shenanigans, and the door doesn't even open for him.
Nope.
Terrible.
Okay. So more stuff on here. When I tried looking up how to tell the difference, and no, I tried looking up the triangle thing, and eventually ended up at a video for Foucault's pendulum, which is the big thing that we saw in Dallas on the big trip over here. It was broken, but it was that big pendulum thing that was hanging with all of the little the bits and bobs around the floor. And I found a video. It's in the notes. That is gave a very good picture of why it works. But the one in Dallas, they just fixed it. They it's not a perpetual motion machine. And they were like, well, when we had to do some maintenance up there, and when we turned the thing back on to make it swing a little bit, it wouldn't move. And so we ended up going, well, what's wrong? And we found out that we had actually knocked things out of whack. So it was no longer aligned with the rotation of the Earth. So we had to reset that. And now it works just fine. So what it does is there's a machine in there at the very top that gives it a very gentle motion here and there, just swinging it. And you have to manually start it, and this just keeps it going. But as the machine goes back and forth, it looks like it's going straight back and forth, but it's not. As Earth very slightly turns, it adds a little bit of spinning motion to the thing, and that's why it goes around, because the whole Earth is rotating, and it kind of just goes back and forth and back and forth, and it's like a spirograph drawing, and it does the same thing, but the thing making the curves of the spirograph is just the rotation of the Earth. So it's the same thing as the Skynet logo, just done on a 24-hour basis instead of like 5 or 6 little whoopity whoops. Okay, so
Neat.
The book, there's a book, another Umberto Eco book called Foucault's Pendulum. It's about conspiracies and how believing in a conspiracy makes other conspiracies exist. Not necessarily because the conspiracy you're looking for will exist, but because people who believe in conspiracies refuse to let lack of evidence equal an evidence of lack.
Like the flat earth stuff.
The flat earth stuff. So if you believe in the flat earth stuff, the more people deny that there's a flat earth stuff, the more you believe that there's a conspiracy, and you become a conspiracy to prove that the flat earth is correct. You become the conspiracy that you were looking for. Maybe not the same conspiracy, but the same energy in there.
It's like that the journey isn't the end result. The journey is you, or the friends you made along the way. You are the conspiracy.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Or like the Santa Claus thing. Like, as a kid, you believe in Santa Claus. As a young adult, you don't believe in Santa Claus. And as an adult, you're like, yes, I believe in Santa Claus all over again. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this ends up, and I left this in here because it ended up looping back to other things later. So I was like, this is a big tangent, but all right, we'll do it. Okay, that was it for that page.
My next thing is 33.
32 I have as my next thing.
Okay.
He goes through the door and finds another room. It's a new setting, and writer thing, we get a refresher on what's going on. Like, he stops and goes, you go through the door to find another room. It's the same size as the other one you just wasted all that time in, while a clock was ticking down to something which may or may not be your doom. Maybe there is something in here that will help you escape. So we restate where we are, what we're doing here, and that there is a time crunch involved. Mm-hmm. Because of a thing called threshold amnesia, where if you walk through a doorway in real life, your brain has this tendency to go, the context I was in has changed. I'm going to purge everything I was doing and refresh. That's just a human thing.
Yeah. Like, what was I doing in this room? And you're trying to just get something from the fridge or something.
Right. But it happens in stories too. When like, the reason we have scenes is because our brains don't know the difference between books and reality sometimes. And so if you're a good writer, every time a character goes through the doorway, whether they're coming into the scene or going out of it, you have to do a brief refresher on what the fuck is going on. Otherwise, the readers will miss what's going on. They'll be like, this conversation has been going on a long time. Because, and I don't remember what's going on, because we started the conversation in the kitchen, and then we walked into the bedroom and then back into the kitchen. So you have 2 places where your brain just went. So you have to like stick this invisible little paragraph reminding what's going on in between the 2 rooms. Or like, yes, as he left the kitchen, he stopped in the living room and said, I don't know why we're having this fight. can you even tell me why we're having this fight? We're having this fight because you're an asshole. Oh yeah, I forgot. And you go to the bedroom and you're like, but I don't think I'm really being an asshole here because of this. And so you restate the problem and just try and flow it into the conversation as you go. Anyway, there you go.
Brain psychology is really weird.
Yes. Like learning how to write, you go like, okay, two things I know. One, brains are weird about where we are. They will latch on, like if you don't tell a brain where it is or why it's there, it will get lost. Even though you like, it's literally the title of the book, and you could still just be like, I don't know what this book is about because you didn't continuously say you're in a room with books or with dead ninjas or with whatever. And concrete sense detail will make readers go like, yes, I'm in a real place. So that's why you go like, oh yeah, it wasn't just a book, it was the old vanilla smell of rotting books rotting pleasantly on a bookshelf or something.
I think, sorry, I'm going back to Mist again.
Okay.
I think that's part of the reason I was so upset with the maze stuff, because really you are going through several things, except A, all of the rooms look the same, and B, you get like a little animation between each of the rooms and stuff. It's like you're on a little track that goes either straight to the next room or wee.
Yeah. And
you're in the new room.
It's
Congrats.
like you're in a submarine, a train shaped or a submarine shaped train, and all you see is through this little porthole. So all you can see is like stuff kind of flicking through your peripheral vision, if that.
Yeah. And also it was all coordinates of a compass, so it's not just forward, back, left, right. It was north, northeast, east, southeast, that kind of thing. And I was like, oh god. I just gave up and had to like look up things from that point after I tried to do it myself and then got so utterly lost. I was like, hold on a second. It's fucking with me. I can't. If you're gonna fuck with me on this stupid little thing of like changing which way it came from, then I'm done. You cheat, and I refuse to play this fairly on this one. Yeah.
Because there's a couple of places where you loop back around from another direction, right? Like,
whoever first wrote the guide for that to figure that out, kudos to you. I am so sorry.
Yeah, there's definitely a thing in games where people are, well, in books too, and I've done the book thing way too many times. I feel bad about it, but all right. Where you're just like, I'm going to come up with a clever puzzle that no one will be able to defeat, and that's how my readers will know I'm smart. They will just know that they're frustrated. Yeah.
A previous version of that me being like, yes, my brain is reset each time we go into a new room that I did manage to solve, still in Mist. There's an area of you're trying to get like different areas that have musical notes and stuff. And I was like, I am so utterly lost in this place. I shouldn't be lost, but I sure am. And I had to like literally draw out a map for me to know where I was and stuff. Didn't realize that was literally my brain resetting each time. I just was like, oh God, where am I? Kind of thing, doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One of the reasons that, like, we've played a lot of Left 4 Dead. One of the reasons that things are yellow or they have bright lights on them to guide you through stuff is because in an open world, you don't know where you're going. And you need some kind of cue directionally because you're going through a bunch of different paths and underground places and up ladders and all this other stuff. So every time you go through a Left 4 Dead run, unless you have it memorized, having those little yellow guides there and the lights and stuff, it uses another part of your brain that says, this is where stuff is. I look towards bright things, I look towards yellow things, and you subconsciously go the right direction and you feel empowered and smart instead of lost and mentally erased all the way through it.
Yeah.
So like they carefully guide you through because of the threshold stuff.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go.
I think next page in Hiccups.
33.
33, yes.
Okay.
This is the page where we get to see the Earth and a thingamajig on the other side.
I went, is it a puzzle? It looks like a puzzle. It looks like a fucking mist puzzle.
I'm not there yet, but that is part of the spoilery thing that I will talk about.
Okay. Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, there's going to be like 5 switches that you have to set exactly right based on clues from the other 2 rooms. And then suddenly the 2 sets of dots will line up and point toward each other somehow magically.
I will not say anything, but I am amused in general by your analysis of this.
Okay, because it does look like a mist panel, or
It
like
does.
from the room.
It does look like a puzzle. So, do you want me to start first on this page?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, this page was released October 4th, 2009. I'm not sure where the month on the bottommost display LCD thing is, but it does show 2009-04 and then a 13 T12 blah blah blah. So we have
04 is April.
Damn, I thought that was for like the day.
Mm-mm.
All right, never mind then. So then that's the 413. Okay, that makes much more sense now. I was like, oh hey, this is a cool thing for like saying what day it is on there for like October. No, it's just coincidence stuff. Okay. Got it. Anyways, we have that 413 in there. Then we have another. Oh, that's not actually a 413. I was hallucinating that one. Damn. All right, never mind on that.
Yeah, it's 1213, which is noon 13.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the 4913 up there, and I had completely erased the 9 in there, so I thought that was a 413. I was like, okay, neat. No. Beyond that, there is a meter stick instead of a yardstick. Noted that mostly because we're pointed on the Earth map in the North American / South American, just the Americas section, and I was like, I'm pretty sure usually there's like yardstick is how it's referred to over there instead of meter stick. Because, North America, or at least America, does the imperial stuff. Yeah. Also, of note on specifically the Earth globe, if you zoom in real close on that, it has a spiral on it because it's got the stock photo. Do not steal this.
That's the Dreams Time logo, by the way. I've gotten stock photos from them before.
Anyways, I just looked at that with what? Oh, okay. So additionally,
what a butthead.
Additionally, the scan lines that I was mentioning on the previous LCD monitor that was inside of the tube thing, the Earth ones are going this way. I think that's the same as the previous one that I was just talking about.
Yes, confirmed.
Yes, thank you. And the other one with the circle that you're calling a puzzle one has it on the other side, so it's like, so they would be crossing over each other if they did indeed have lines that continue downwards and stuff.
Yep, they don't face the same direction.
Yes. Okay, here is me talking about the spoiler bit. Would you mind? Yes.
All right.
So, Earth map on one side and the Sky map on the other side with like the other kids' worlds and stuff. I just was like, wait, the lines are reflected almost. And I was like, oh wow, this is a great way to show that it's like, hey, these are both maps, and also it's like a mirror world thing. I think that's something I would like to talk about later once we actually do get to see the other kids on their planets and stuff. But I just thought this was a neat hint or foreshadowing bit. All right, there we go. Yes?
Yes.
Good.
I'm back.
And that is all I have to say on this page. Do you have anything you want to say?
Yes. The switch between the 2 panels on the top is a Skynet spirograph, which comes up later. The bottoms are the SBURB panel. The bottom buttons underneath the coordinate screen are SBURB, the triangly fractal thingy, and the 3-button dial, which also contains SBURB and the triangly fractal for a nice little recursion. The 4 sets of numbers look like latitude, longitude, altitude, and time. And I tried looking up the latitude, longitude. It's in the middle of the Pacific, south of Howland Island. going over all of the islands in the South Pacific to try and find this particular one, which I didn't. I was like, there are a lot of goddamn islands in the Pacific, huh? So that's how everybody made it out to Hawaii. It's not just like a lot of empty. It's a lot of empty, but it's not as much empty as I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was it.
Sorry, just came up with another thing. So the longitude and latitude lines, brain fart there, um, they have this on the sides of them and stuff. That's the same like lines and stuff that we see on Wayward Vagabond's arm for his QR code. So it may be like he literally has a location on his arm.
Maybe, but it doesn't like his barcodes don't. The bars are all the same size, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just a pattern. Who knows?
Anyways, that's what I had on that.
Okay.
My next thing is 35.
Go for it.
Okay. This is just once again the return of the "oops, I have no inventory" joke.
Mm-hmm.
That was all I wanted to say on that one. Next thing is 37 for me.
Okay, I'm 35. We've seen this before, but here it is again. On 34, he has what it seems to be a very convincing intention and visualization of attaching the knife to the meter stick as a spear. I went, it's a spear, it's alchemy. But then we pull back and you see he's just imagining that in his mind, which is a movie trick rather than necessarily game one.
It's fun.
It's fun, but I'm like, that's not a game trick. Let's see, 36, 37. Okay, you go next because I'm trying to figure out where I have more to actually say.
So 37. When the blue button is pressed, the coordinates on the coordinate screen turns entirely blue, and we get to see once again the weird little scan lines being diagonal, the same way as the Earth maps one were. And then after that, I was just babbling about the buttons and stuff, but we also get to see 3 little black squares with white dots in them on the actual panel siding itself. I don't know if those are actually used for anything. It just was like, that's an interesting thing to include.
On that one, that is a very missed thing. Like as you lean in and you zoom in further, you get one more extra detail about the thing that you're zooming in on.
I see that a lot on like escape room things, and I'm like, oh god, please stop. I just wanted to like click on this thing to be here is an object. I do not need this being knowing there's more thing to this object. Exactly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to pick up the pillow. Why do I have to look at the actual quilt itself? Yeah.
Because it's actually been woven with a computer program hidden in it. You have to take the quilt off the pillow and feed it into the scanner.
Yeah. It's gotten binary stitched into it.
Yep.
Terrible.
Those jacquard looms, man. Screw them.
Next page for me.
What page are you on?
I'm currently on 37. The one I want to talk about is 38.
Go for it.
So, a familiar pumpkin appears. I'm pretty sure this is the one that we saw in John's dream that Dee said had a weird symbol on it.
It looks like some sort of head.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I got 39.
Go for it.
Okay. We get to see the narrator yelling at Wayward Vagabond's inner dialogue because he's like, oh, what is this thing? This gourd, mysterious, transported, purified from a specific time and location, blah, blah, blah. You wonder if the machine, a purifier, will take any object, blah, blah, blah. That kind of thing. I just was like, this is another thing to add to the list of weird narrator things. Aww. Yes, that's all of that.
Okay.
Then 40.
Go for it.
I said hello hand because once again we have another hand here.
Okay. I was like, I wonder if there are more hands, and this is the only one I noticed this time. But yes, I noticed it.
Then my next thing is 43.
41 is where I noticed the 3-panel button thing, but we talked about that already. 2642. He pushes the button.
Rightmost button.
The rightmost button. Thank you. And the coordinate numbers change. And so it looked like they were recentering the coordinates to something 44.517 latitude and something or other longitude. Longitude got covered up. And then 43, we get the longitude, and it was a longitude at 341.3 longitude, 3.413 longitude. There's your 413.
Yep.
But there's no such longitude as 3413. It's either plus 180 or minus 180 for the 360 degrees of the globe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to figure out what 341.3 could be. Anyway, all right, so it's almost 360 degrees. So how about we back up 18.7 degrees one direction, and it was in the middle of the Atlantic, no islands there. And the other direction, it was in Bosnia, also not a desert. So I was like, I'm like off by, maybe it's 144 or something on the latitude and not 44. But anyway, it didn't work out to anything.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, go for it.
The only thing I had to say on this page was another new 413, but you already said that.
Okay.
Then 44.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. 44 smarts. Wayward vagabond's able to figure out A, where his knife is without like originally knowing human measurement, and B, like able to do the mental math to be able to grab it in the first place. I was like, this is really smart. I would not have been able to do it myself. It's nice being able to see him having a smart moment, because honestly, we don't usually get much of that with him.
No.
No.
Even though it's mostly just ignorance because he doesn't know how things work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still able to like use what knowledge he does have to make further assumptions and stuff.
Yep.
Even if most of them are silly.
Yes. Whose are not?
Then that is what I have for this page. Next is the next page for me.
Go for it.
Okay. In this page, the narrator snarks against the main character, saying, against Wayward Vagabond, saying, "You are to believe that time is at a premium, after all." I was like, this is probably a comment in general turned into a action/command, since honestly, let me back up a little. The snark comment is going back into the whole weird narrator thing, but the whole me being like, yes, this is probably a comment turned into a command thing. I'm saying that because this absolutely seems like something that I would do if I was playing a D&D thing. I'd be like, well, we're on a time crunch, but I am not leaving my little things that I've bonded it with behind. I'm taking these things with me no matter what. Yoink, kind of thing.
Okay. I think that's after what I wanted to say on 46.
Oh. Have at it.
Okay, 46. The prompter tells Wayward Vagabond to disappearify the pumpkin. And he says no. In the background, pictures of Wayward Vagabond as the mayor with wearing a dunce cap. The background is the repeated word done. I looked up dunce caps. Holy shit, that got weird.
Okay.
And please take this all with a grain of salt. As I was going through this, I was plagued by the idea that all of this was bullshit and somebody was pulling my leg and it was an elaborate ruse that had been going on for centuries. Wow. Because it just gets weird. A dunce cap, a dunce cap, as used in the picture, is not actually a cap. It's a rolled up piece of newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. And it doesn't always have the word dunce or a capital D on it, but it was traditional. If you tell someone that something is a punishment and treat it like a punishment, then having to perform the punishment, no matter how non-punishing it is eventually becomes a punishment, which is why I think it actually worked.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen that with like you're only supposed to sit on the stairs when you're in trouble for like against little kids kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
And I just read something the other day where there was this plain blue baseball cap that was the trouble cap, and the kid had to wear it like if they were out, they just cab this cap in the backpack. Don't make me get the cap out. And like nobody could tell. It wasn't embarrassing. It didn't make him stand out in any way. He wasn't against baseball caps in general. It was just the blue cap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It Dunce caps were mentioned in Charles Dickens' The Old Curiosity Shop in 1840. So that's probably correct because Charles Dickens wasn't like a practical joke kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
The caps are named after John Duns Scotus, who lived from 1265 to 1308, a Franciscan friar slash mendicant, as we have previously noted what those are, who was supposed to be incredibly intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
He and his followers supposedly wore a pointed hat, not a piece of paper, that may also have been the origin of a wizard hat. However, they may not have worn a pointed hat. They may have merely worn tall hats.
Mm-hmm.
The conical hat, maybe not. Maybe because like there's a picture of him and he's got like a tall hat, but it's more like a ski mask that just got pulled up too far. I don't know. Anyway, so this part sounds like complete bullshit. Probably like, oh yeah, they wore tall hats. Here's why. The hat supposedly funneled in intelligence from the outside world directly into your mind.
Okay.
But Scotists were against humanism, which is kind of like the opposite of seeing the world as a machine for God. So Scotists were against humanism, and the humanists thought that was backward and stupid because they were tired of the Gnostic and the math and the everything is the Jesuits said this is the formula of the universe, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Scotists were Franciscans, which may have helped them acquire a reputation for stupidity because the Franciscans took in a lot of people who were really smart but didn't necessarily come from noble backgrounds or wealthy backgrounds. Where like the Benedictines were very much into the acquisition of property by bringing it in from your dad's family. So they were less well educated because they came from various backgrounds and not just upper class. Okay. However, there was a pointed cap that actually existed, and it traditionally was made of cloth and used to identify heretics. And it was called a capirote. It's worn with a San Benito, which originally, or most sort of originally, was a tunic with a big red X on it.
Mm-hmm.
And everywhere they went, they had to wear a rope around their necks and this big tunic with a red X on it, and sometimes this long pointed cap. The cap was a capirote. After a while, it stopped being about Catholic heretics because they didn't just burn them all, but they threatened to kill them all.
Mm.
So it's after a while, it stopped being about the heretics themselves and became more about punishment and penitence for one's sins.
Mm.
And including being born, which is in Catholics call this the original sin. You're damned to hell unless you become Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things you have to do after that, but damned to hell, not Catholic. And when you are confirmed as a Catholic, you get this mini version of the tunic that's just like a postage stamp size picture of a saint, 2 ribbons, and then another one that you wear on your back. Like that's what it's for. It's to show that you're a member of you're spending your life being sorry for having been born within original sin. Catholics are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, even today, the capirote is worn by orders of lay brothers who are not priests, but people who take monk-like vows without actually becoming priests. Because if you become a priest, you have to like do mass every day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a monk but you're not a priest, you're a lay brother. And they adopted asceticism or a life of suffering, chastity, and poverty. The actual hats of the penitents could be standing up or lying down. And I have some pictures here. There's you.
They look like
wait.
ninjas or something.
It gets weirder. And we'll put that in the notes. All right, you ready? That's with the points up. Okay. So, the hoods of the KKK may or may not have been copied from these.
Yeah.
And in fact, one of the ways to make fun of the KKK was to say they're wearing sheets and dunce caps. The pointed hoods don't actually start with the KKK.
Okay.
They come from a guy who was writing a book about the KKK and just fucking gave them robes and hats for shits and giggles to make it look cooler. They are included in the 1905 novel The Klansman by Thomas Dixon, which was turned into the 1915 D.W. Griffiths movie, The Birth of the Nation. And The Birth of the Nation may have yoinked their hoods, their white Klan hoods, from a movie next door that was being filmed or just got done being filmed, and have used the Capirote things. So when the movie was released, a couple of enterprising souls apparently went, oh shit, ran out, bought up a whole bunch of cloth, sold hoods in front of the movie theaters to sell to Klansmen coming in to support the movie. And they are cheap and quick to make, so it looks like the anti-Catholic KKK, because if you're Catholic, the KKK is fucking out to end you. They are wearing Catholic penitent clothing representing suffering and humility. So it's almost like the Umberto Eco's full cup pendulum thing. The KKK was popularized by and absorbed the bullshit iconography of a cheap movie spectacle. Here, have a conspiracy. Thanks. Anyway, that's what I got on that. Too fun.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah, like right.
Yeah, I was not expecting that from Dunce Caps of all things.
Right.
I don't remember. When we look back at what page we're on currently 2646.
Yep.
Okay. I have something on the next page. Is that good to?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. The command on this page is use Wayward Vagabond. Use trusty knife to carve spook schema in pumpkin. So I looked up what schema was, and it's apparently to like a diagrammatic presentation, or broadly, a structured framework or plan. So I'm pretty sure this is a command by a commenter, because basically what they were trying to command Wayward Vagabond to do is carve a John's pumpkin ghost into a pumpkin kind of thing.
Okay,
Yes?
I looked this up.
Oh.
It's a Problem Sleuth reference. I don't think we're that far yet, so we don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually we'll get that back there, but I went, oh shit, don't look at Problem Sleuth, but it's a Problem Sleuth reference. Okay. A Wayward Vagabond doesn't get the reference anyway.
Yeah.
So he carves the top of the pumpkin and eats all of the nasty ass guts. Blech.
Love that. I mean, the seeds themselves are pretty good when baked and stuff, but you know, he's obviously not
like, dude, he's a beetle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he ate rotten pumpkin and thought it was delicious.
Uh-huh.
He does not have the same palates we do. We will just go with that.
Yes.
51 is what I got.
48, Wayward Vagabond tries to switch from the Earth to the coordinate screen, but the Skynet/Biograph switch doesn't work without some sort of key. I don't think we've seen a key yet. Also, I realized as I kept looking at that screen that it also looks like a coordinate screen. The type of coordinate screen that has the crosshairs in the middle is called Cartesian graph, after Descartes, whom we have discussed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 49. He purifies the firefly. 50. He decides to name her later. 51.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is this where you have comments?
Yes. 51.
Go for it.
Well, actually, no, I probably shouldn't. Mostly because it's just the thing we will talk about later.
Oh, okay.
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 Then next page, I have 52.
Wayward 51. Wayward vagabond tries to purify the rotting pumpkin from the past. Will it be eaten or uneaten in the past? We don't know yet. But we learn secretly after 50, when Wayward Vagabond decides to name the firefly later, that the firefly's name is Serenity from the TV show Firefly.
That's I tried looking up the name Serenity for the definition because I was like, I'm sure there's something interesting here. No, it's an actual reference. Oh, no, my god.
Like, clearly, you will have to speak about this. No, apparently I was the only one. So I went off on a huge tangent about that.
Okay.
Firefly, Joss Whedon. The TV show is from 2002, so it would have been timely in time for 2009.
Mm-hmm.
The ship is named Serenity, a Firefly-class ship. Joss Whedon was supposedly inspired by the book called The Killer Angels by Michael Shara about the Battle of Gettysburg in Pennsylvania. This was from the Civil War, so the Confederate States versus the Union troops.
Mm-hmm.
Whedon got interested in the way that the Confederates on the losing side went out west to build new lives afterwards, which means the crew of Firefly is based on people who fought for slavery and lost. Stay classy, Joss Whedon. There are major issues with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that before. Anyway.
I don't know if we talked about it on here, but definitely us too.
Yeah. But it's not out of the realm of what's going on with Westerns. Kind of, if you're going to do Westerns, you're going to have to deal with either revealing or hiding Confederate influences, because the myths of the West involve that. A lot of Westerns really tie into the myths that Confederates were fighting for states' rights and not slavery. So the rebuilding of Confederates as being like, oh yeah, it was all about states' rights and we were just fighting for our way of life and it had nothing to do with the slaves. That was incidental. This is all about our right to not have to be bullied by by northern states. Bullies, bullies. That didn't happen as a reframing until like the 40s and 50s. During World War II, unfortunately, there were a lot of fucking white supremacists running around, and many of them were actually on, they were across the political spectrum. Stuff was still kind of getting itself sorted out, but it was a big fucking deal. In the 50s, there was the Red Scare and the communists that came up, and so people started doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. I am normal. I am the normal one. Everybody else is weird. I am white. I am going to define whiteness now. Instead of just being prejudiced, they were like, we're going to define whiteness now. And the 40s and 50s were when, like John Wayne and all of the really early Westerns were being shown on TV and filmed and stuff. And they were like about this white hero that came in and was like in a slow drawl, which clearly codes them as from the South. They would come in and be like, fix all the problems. And the problems were, oh my gosh, there are Hispanic people here and there shouldn't be. The goddamn Indians are attacking. Like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. It was all just racist coded shit. But the Western, the slow drawl is definitely a Southern tag. Let's see. And then into the 60s, the Westerns continued to be very popular, which was during the Civil Rights Movement, when people were like, no, Black people aren't human. So they would show up as being the bad guys in Westerns all of a sudden.
Wow.
Ironically, a lot of the spaghetti Westerns from Italy were the opposite of that. They were like, war sucks. White people suck. We're fools and we get sucked into weird ass shit. Because they were dealing with the aftermath of World War II from the inside and getting past having been their whole nation having been fascist. So they were like, maybe let's not do that. Maybe let's talk about how that caused a lot of problems, and that sort of thinking brought us down and destroyed our country. And so it was a lot of leftist or anti-war auteur filmmakers protesting capitalism, and you got stuff like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
We'll write that down into the notes.
Okay.
For people to see.
Yeah, but the earlier language of Westerns, a lot of it came from just, we are coming up with a great American myth to say, here's why it's okay to be fucking racist. Anyway, there you go. Thanks,
More you know.
Thanks, Joss Whedon. Stay classy.
52.
Okay.
This is when the pumpkin gets appearified, and we solve the paradoxing, and the answer is goo. um, I'm sure this won't be relevant later. Uh, Also fun that it's called a gelatinous ghost pumpkin, and I was like, at least the ghost pumpkin made it, and even if it couldn't be like carved, it could be made, kind of thing. And that's what I had on that. Yeah,
I looked at the color and I went, "That's Slimer color."
it is.
It is okay.
Like I said, the ghost thing.
That's really what I had about that Slimer.
53. This is me talking about Serenity's Morse code stuff. She says, "Let's go!" Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. There's no spaces in between. It's just that. Let's go.
That's seriously what she's saying?
Yes.
Neat. So in the screen it says "hurry up," but it's really "let's go," huh? Okay. Also, he throws the tab can and it lands on the switch to reset the coordinates. So our coordinates have been reset on that page. Yep. Okay.
I think that's on 55.
Nope. Well, what page am I on? I thought it was on 53. Nope, that's on 55. You are correct.
Yes. Okay.
I stopped where I saw the firefly flashing and went, "Oh, yes.
Clearly
Okay. This is where we are."
That makes more sense. The hurry up page, yes, she is saying hurry up there. It's just the previous one is the let's go.
Oh, yes. Okay. Neat.
Yeah. On 55 is where Wayward Vagabond is doing a bunch of shenanigans to like put shit into a pumpkin and tries to leave and then falls, and like we get to see his very bald head. And I was like, hee, bald head.
On 54, Wayward Vagabond sets the machine to bring the grate off of the top of the tunnel to the bunker. Around the edges, the metal is white hot. So was it cut by a laser, cut by time itself? Who knows?
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of the Terminator thing of where he appears in places and like there's just a melted area surrounding him because he appeared through time and stuff. And so time said, we're melting things now.
On 55.
Yes.
After Wayward Vagabond tries to climb up the ladder, he falls down. The pumpkin lands on his head, on his very bald head. The screen shows the dunces again and the word dumb in the background with psyche, PSYCHE, question mark, like flashing over his head. So psyche again with the weird spelling.
Oh, the song that's playing during all of this.
Yeah.
It is Suburban Reversal Partial by Mark Hadley. It's a remix of the song Suburban Countdown, which was the song that was playing when John took a bite of the apple to escape his meteor. Yeah, that was what I had on that. Thank you.
Okay. 56?
Yes. You talk.
Okay. You attempt the rare and highly dangerous 5X cliffhanger combo and fail. We are doing it, man. We are making this happen. Those two lines are spelled out correctly in the regular font, and yet I expected it to go back to Dave, but it didn't. I was just like, we're making this happen. I remember those words, but we didn't, and that's where I want to end.
Yes. So I will 6X. Call this a meta, in a sort of meta thing. We are in fact doing the cliffhanger thing anyways because Dee decided that we're going to do so here.
I was like, it's way past my bedtime and go to bed. Cliffhanger. Perfect.
I know it. Yeah. At the end of my notes there.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to say else?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, I don't think it was intentional because a lot of this stuff was like 2 or 3 tangents down the road, but it very much seems like today's theme is there was a story. Once upon a time, there was a story, and that story took on a life of its own. And I think, like, overall, the whole point of Homestuck is that like once upon a time there was a story, and the story is like, here's what you need to do to save the world, and that story itself became a creature with its own actions and movement. um, but like the conspiracy theories that don't exist until enough people disbelieve that they don't exist, like, no, the earth really is flat, it is a cover up, suddenly that's the conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
So the story about the story took on a life of its own. The thing with the hoods and going like possibly bullshit, but it's become a story that took on a life of its own. If we go back to the shale imps, the story that dinosaurs died and became this giant well of petroleum, which then becomes shale, which then became the shale imps.
Mm-hmm.
So like the spirit of the dinosaurs became the shale imps. That's another story that took on a life of its own,
Mm-hmm.
literally in this case.
Yeah. I don't know if what I'm going to say is a spoiler or not. I'm just going to say it anyways.
Okay.
I think that the chess stuff will also count for that.
Okay.
Since we've already seen like the whole the kings are evil kind of thing from Wayward Vagabond and stuff, but him being like, yes, I'm going to recreate chess in the only like I only know this certain way of pattern of things because I've like done this before kind of thing. This is obviously the logical way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's story of itself, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. We've definitely seen like the various myths kind of taking on lives of their own. Like the explanation for lightning became a god, and the god acquired its own stories, and it's really just lightning. So it took on a life of its own, and I think that's just a human trait. Myth making is a story that takes on a life of its own. And obviously, Homestuck has taken, as a real world story, has taken on a life of its own, with people cosplaying all kinds of characters and things like that.
Yeah. And there's the whole, we're just going to make this into a cafe so we can eat the food from this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I just remembered something. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm trying to think what else. I was thinking too, it's, I don't know if it's a theme as such, but it's definitely, oh my gosh. Yes. It's definitely a pattern where you go, like with all the clowns and stuff, you go, here's a clown, here's a harlequin, here's a jester, here's a comedian, and what are the similarities between all of those and not? And we dug down really deep into that, and then we were going like, okay, so what's the difference between Gnosticism and like Greek myth and like myth, and stories that take on the lives of their own? I think we're going to see a lot of different forms of that as he's like, I just wanted to noodle around with that somehow. Okay. All right, go for it.
One, cool. I'm glad we'll be seeing that in the future because I think you're right on. We'll be seeing more of that. Two, Gushers. There's no Betty Crocker on here.
Do you feel betrayed?
I do. I did looked it up to see if secretly they've been sold to someone else, and that's why there's no longer Betty Crocker on there. But no, they're still owned by Betty Crocker.
They're owned by General Mills.
What? Okay, Wikipedia lied to me.
General Mills owns Betty Crocker, so it's the same thing. They just didn't.
They decided against the Betty Crocker.
They don't have the little coupon points anymore.
No, that one I do know. It's because of this.
Oh, download the app, scan your box. Okay, because we used to have to cut off box tops.
Yes, I saw a video that was talking about those specifically because it was like, people are just not doing this anymore because there's no longer the physical interactivity. There's now an extra step that makes it more harder to do this, and so now that it's being basically dropped itself. Yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah,
like my mom had a gallon bag of box tops. She was just waiting for the opportunity to send it in, and like we're like, Mom, we don't care, but apparently it was really big for a while. Okay, wait.
Oh, we're trying Gushers on screen. Bonus gusher screen.
Okay, there's a YouTuber that does a lot of narrative urban stuff that I follow, and Katie Source, and she's always going like, and we're going to talk about something spicy today. If you don't want to talk about something spicy, grab a fruit snack on your way out.
Okay, well, now I have to look that up.
Oh, well, super cool, super cool. I think you really like her. She's got like epic 70s glasses. So every time I look at her, I'm like, those are my mom's glasses.
Okay, I will add that to the thing once I get who that is from you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Why won't it open?
Just open it like this.
Fine.
Yeah. Ding. Hey, they're both orange. It popped in my mouth.
I heard it. I like my peach smoothie better, but this is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick with a mailbox. Wow, you pay for it.
Yeah, this is basically just fruit gushers with a thing in it.
Okay.
Or fruit roll up, actually. Yeah. Like the ones that you would like lay out on your tongue and stuff, and be like,
"Oh my god, the same color 3 times." We're stopping now. I'm not jinxing that.
But the stuff that you roll out and like tattoo your tongue with, that kind of thing. Yeah. Anyways, in case you've apparently never had gushers before.
It's been decades.
Anyways, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. And grab a fruit snack on the way out.